The CMF Phone 1 launched back in 2024 as this unbelievable budget beast from nothing sub-brand CMF, promising flagship-level vibes at a crazy low price. Fast forward to 2026. It's been over a year since I grabbed mine, and people are still asking, is this thing still worth your money or has time left in the dust? All right, let's dive right in and talk about what it's like living with a CMF Phone 1 day-to-day in 2026. First off, the design, man, this is where it still shines bright. The plastic back might sound cheap on paper, but CMF turned it into a total strength with that screw-on modular system. You can literally unscrew the back and swap it out for different colors or materials. I've got the light green plastic one right now, but I've swapped to the orange vegan leather back a few times just for fun. It feels premium in hand, textured and grippy, and honestly, you don't even need a case most days because the whole phone is built tough and playful. Plus, it came with a pre-applied screen protector out of the box. Small win, but I love that. The display is another standout that holds up amazingly well. It's a 6.67-inch OLED panel at 1080p with a smooth 120Hz refresh rate. Colors pop, blacks are deep, and it hits around 1,200 nits peak brightness, so outdoor visibility is solid even on sunny days. Sure, the minimum brightness is a tad high at about 2.4 nits. If you're scrolling in a pitch black room, it can feel a little glaring, but for everyday use, this screen punches way above its original price class. Scrolling through TikTok or watching YouTube feels buttery smooth. No complaints there after a full year. Now, performance. This is where the CMF Phone 1 still feels like a game changer. Powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 on a 4nm process, paired with 8GB RAM in most variants, it handles daily stuff effortlessly. Apps open quick, multitasking is snappy, and even light gaming like Genshin Impact or PUBG runs surprisingly well without major throttling. It actually beats out a lot of 2024 and 2025 mid-rangers and benchmarks, and in real life, I've never felt like it's lagging behind newer budget options for basic use. Storage is 128GB or 256GB base, and yeah, it still has a microSD slot, which is rare these days and a lifesaver if you're hoarding photos or music. The camera, okay, this is the biggest area where it shows its age. The setup looks like dual cameras, but really, it's a 50-megapixel main shooter plus a basically useless 2-megapixel depth sensor for portraits. No ultra-wide, no telephoto, so zooming in even a little kills detail fast. Colors can come out a bit washed out or bland in auto mode. Exposure is occasionally off, and low-light shots turn noisy with ghosting and soft details. That said, it's not terrible. Daylight portraits look natural with nice bokeh, and some people actually prefer the more muted, realistic tones over oversaturated rivals. Video is decent too. 4K recording with good stabilization. A huge plus for budget phones, though noise creeps in when you zoom. If photography is your main thing, this might disappoint, but for casual snaps and social media, it gets the job done without frustration most days. Battery life remains reliable. The 5,000 milliamp hours, so gives me solid all-day usage. Around 6 to 7 hours of screen-on time mixed between browsing, streaming, and some gaming. In tests, it pulls about 11 hours of video playback and holds up well. 33 watts charging is quick enough. Full charge in roughly 68 minutes. And while no wireless charging expected at this price, it's faster than many competitors still stuck at 18 to 25 watts. Software-wise, it's running Nothing OS now on Android 16. Yeah, it got the big update to Nothing OS 4.0 based on Android 16 late last year, which brought smoother animations, better customization, and that signature Nothing glyph style quirks I love. The interface feels clean, fun, and optimized. Gesture navigation is spot on, and it runs surprisingly fluid for a budget device. The downside? Original promise was only 2 major OS updates and 3 years of security patches. So with Android 16 as likely the last big one, it's at end of life for major Android upgrades now. Security patches might trickle in a bit longer, but if you want 5+ years of support, look elsewhere. Still, for a phone this cheap, getting to Android 16 is respectable. Audio is mono from the bottom speaker, but it's loud and clear for calls or podcasts. Not much bass for music lovers, though haptics are decent for notifications. Okay, The big question in 2026: value, and is it still worth buying? New prices have dropped nicely since launch. Originally around $199 to $239 for the 8 gigabytes per 128 gigabytes model in the US. You can now find it new for about $176 to $235 on sites like Walmart, Amazon, or Nothing Site, depending on stock and variants. With some 256 gigabytes options around $235 to $299. Used or refurbished. Swap and eBay show averages around $175 to $192 for good condition units, with solid examples dipping to $150 to $170 if you're patient. Trade-in or resale values hover around $50 to $110, depending on condition. At under $200 new or even lower used, it's insanely affordable, especially compared to newer budget phones pushing $250 to $300. You get that unique modular design, killer performance of the money, a vibrant OLED screen, and expandable storage. Stuff that's still rare in this range. But is it the best buy right now? If you're after pure value, smooth daily use, and something fun and different, absolutely. It's still a budget phenom that outperforms expectations. The camera and limited long-term software support are the main trade-offs. If you prioritize better cameras, longer updates like 5 to 7 years from Samsung or Google, or newer hardware, options like the Galaxy A16 5G, Moto G Power 2026, or even the newer CMF Phone 2 Pro, around $279 with upgrades, might edge it out. For me, after a full year, I'd still grab another one if my budget was tight, and I wanted personality over perfection. It's not flawless, but it's one of those phones that makes you smile every time you pick it up. What do you think? Would you still buy the CMF Phone 1 in 2026, or are you eyeing something newer? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like if this helped, and subscribe for more Real Talk reviews. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.